I'm going back a few years for this one. This is early in the season, August. I don't know the specific date, but shortly after season opening, which is on August 15th. So when Mama Bear showed up, I started recording with the camcorder. So she went straight to that drum that's laying down, which usually has a closed lid. But early in the season, I leave it open, make the food easily accessible. A little bit in all of the barrels and buckets there, just so that it keeps them coming back. So I have that one laying down with the lid. It has small holes. So once they start coming in regularly, I wire the lid shut and then they roll it around, and it has about a dozen 1-inch holes, which allows some bait to fall out, which is usually popcorn. And it keeps them coming back because there's usually always food left in that drum. The standing white drum has an elliptical hole in it, an oblong hole that they usually use their paws to get to the bait. The smaller bears will stick their head in there and eat what they can, but again, there's always a little bit left in the bottom. That pile of logs behind her is another 45-gallon drum that's just open-ended, and I usually obstruct the opening with other logs and plywood and other stuff. So as you saw just there, she kept standing and looking in the northwest direction. So at this site, the bait's about 30 feet away from the blind. I'm in a permanent ground blind at this point. And in the background you can see a tree stand which has since fallen. But I used that before I started bow hunting. That's what I used with my muzzle loader. But on this night, it was an impulsive hunt right after work. My scent control wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't too bad. As you can see, she's trying to eat, tossing those logs around, looking to the northwest direction again. So that tree closest to the blind with a piece of plywood full of nails is where I have my trail cam mounted. And that's probably about 7 feet from the blind. 6 or 7 feet, maybe 8, but it's close. So again, looking to the west, squirrel going nuts in the background. And she's just eating. So what I typically do for baiting, I cook popcorn right at the site. And I usually use bacon fat or old fryer grease. And that does two things. It gives good flavor to the popcorn for them, and then it also, puts scent in the air. So she's looking to the northwest again. So back to the bait. Once I've got the popcorn cooked, and I'm using a turkey fryer pot, so I can make a lot of popcorn. Then I cover it with molasses, and I put a little bit in everything. The 4 drums and the 3 drums in the bucket. But here you can see in the top left why she was focusing in the northwest direction. Because 2 yearling cubs show up. So legally, I could have harvested this sow, because these cubs are probably going to be leaving the mom, this season at some point. But ethically, I couldn't do it. It's not something I would do, so I opted to use the camcorder as my weapon of choice on this night. So again, here's a photo showing kind of where this tree is in proximity to the tree stand. So she's about 6-7 feet away here, trying to pick up my scent. Again, smelling, and she realizes something's not right. So she takes off. One of the yearlings follows her. The other one's wondering what's going on, but decides to keep eating for a bit. So anyway, what an exhilarating moment. Adrenaline pumping, you know, having a bear that close with only a bow in hand. I've had this happen on a few occasions and I love it. Little guy here keeps feeding for a bit and then eventually takes off to go meet up with mom and sibling. So this one was a little different and I hope you enjoyed it. I am recycling some old videos and whatnot, but it won't be too long and I'll be in the boat along with other adventures. So thanks for watching and we'll see you on the next one.